Hey guys, welcome back to this episode. Some they call them folk tales, but these are real stories sent by people to our email. And if you're interested also to those who have stories, please remember to send you whatever you went through, your story, your confession on this email address. Let's get into today's video. I was trapped in my marriage, feeling suffocated by the economic hardships that plunged our lives. My husband, a kind-hearted Zimbabwean teacher, worked tirelessly to provide for our family, but his salary barely could cover our basic needs. Every month, the salary will be deposited, and it will be swallowed by school fees, rent, and utilities. We were left with nothing, struggling to make ends meet. I felt like I was drowning. The stress was suffocating. My husband felt like a failure, and I felt helpless. I tried to find ways to supplement our income, but jobs were scarce. Opportunities were limited. That's when my neighbor Rachel invited me to join her on a business venture. She planned to buy clothes in Tanzania and resell them back at home. Desperate for financial freedom, I borrowed money from my sister in the UK. Together, Rachel and I embarked on the 3-day bus journey to Dar es Salaam. As fate would have it, we sat behind a group of chatting women. Their conversations flowed freely, and I listened intently. One woman shared a captivating story. I acquired a lucky charm from a traditional doctor in Tanzania. My business is flourishing ever since. I learned and listened. Then I asked the question, who is the doctor? Where can I find him? What kind of a charm does he offer? The woman hesitated, glancing around the bus. Be cautious, dear. This doctor's powers come with a price. Rachel nudged me, whispering, perhaps this is the break that we need. I nodded, determination burning with me. We'll find that doctor. Upon arrival in Dar es Salaam, we settled in a small guest house. The next morning, we set out to find the traditional doctor. As we navigated the bustling streets, I wondered, was this a genuine opportunity or desperate gamble? Would the doctor's charm truly change our fortune? Or would we fall prey to superstition? We asked locals for directions, and eventually we found ourselves standing before a humble, unassuming door. A sign creaked in the wind, Dr. Juma, the traditional healer. With a deep breath, I pushed open the door. As we entered Dr. Juma's chambers, the air thickened with incense and a mystique. The traditional healer, an elderly man with piercing eyes, greeted us. Welcome, sisters. I sense you have come seeking more than just cloth. Rachel explained our struggles, and Dr. Juma listened. I've just the thing, he said. He disappeared into one hidden room. He returned with a small pouch containing a delicate ornate charm. This is Mafaniko, the bringer of success and prosperity. I felt a surge of hope, but Rachel was a bit worried. How does it work? I asked. Dr. Juma smiled. Mafaniko attracts blessings and repels misfortune, but remember, true power lies within. The price was steep, but desperation won. We purchased the charm and left Dr. Juma's chambers with mixed emotions. Back at the guest house, I held Mafaniko, feeling its supposed power. Is this our ticket to financial freedom? Rachel asked. I nodded. Only time will tell. The next day, we embarked on our shopping spree armed with Mafaniko. Vendors welcomed us warmly and deals flowed effortless. Our luggage overflowed with beautiful Tanzanian garments. As we boarded the return bus, Rachel turned to me. Do you think that charm really worked? I smiled. Maybe. Maybe it's just our newfound confidence. But deep down, I wondered, had Dr. Juma's magic truly altered our fate, or was it just the power of positive thinking? The journey home passed quickly, our minds buzzing with business plans. Upon arrival, we hastily unpacked and began selling our clothes. Sales skyrocketed. Customers flocked to our doorstep. But as our profits increased, I noticed strange occurrences. Our business grew in a way that shocked everyone around me. But one problem I saw was that our daughter started to act weird. At night, she would wake up and scream, and I also started to notice that her panties will be black in the middle part. She was only 14 at the moment, and I brushed it off. Next, her boobs started swelling, and they would be red. We would take her to hospitals, and the doctors did all the tests you can think of. and all of them were negative. Time my husband had stopped working for the Department of Education, and we had opened a salon, a butcher, a boutique, and all was going on. Our daughter started then bleeding, and it was unstoppable. I forgot to say that the charm was in a container in a room that we had turned to be a storage. The following morning, the charm had grown, and it was slowly growing from a root to a creature. This is 2 years later, after we had gotten Mafaniko. I started noticing that Mafaniko had a pulse. When I say Mafaniko, I mean the root. I started noticing that it had a pulse, and 3 days after our daughter started bleeding heavily, I went into the room. As I opened the door, I noticed used pads and blood on the floor. I quickly called our daughter, and she said she had no strength to wake up, but she had spent the entire night crying and saying someone was sucking her period blood. I'd never seen something like this, and my husband never knew about this lucky charm. Since I just brought it, I quickly called Rachel, and she told me she was experiencing a lot of strange things, so we had to quickly go to Tanzania and consult with a traditional healer. The following morning, my husband told me that he was peeing blood like someone who had bilharzia. I boarded the first flight to Tanzania, leaving my husband and my daughter behind. Rachel accompanied me, and we rushed to Dr. Juma's chambers. The charm has turned against us, I told Dr. Juma. He said you should have heeded my warning. Mafaniko's powers comes at a terrible cost. He led us to a hidden room filled with ancient artifacts. We must perform a reversal ritual, Dr. Juma explained. As we prepared, Dr. Juma revealed Mafaniko feeds on menstrual blood, fueling its growth. It had been 2 full years, and we had never noticed any change. Then now, why? Why is it that Dr. Juma had never told me when we first came with Rachel that Mafaniko feeds with menstrual blood, and why was it even feeding on my own daughter? Your daughter's suffering is a sign of its strength. The ritual began, and I felt a mix of hope and dread. Back home, my husband's condition worsened. My daughter's bleeding ceased, but she remained very weak. The reversal ritual effects were slow to manifest. Dr. Juma warned Mafaniko would resist, fighting to maintain his hold. Days passed, and our family struggles continued. Mafaniko grew and turned into a very big snake. And the most painful thing is that our family began to grow apart. The snake became jealous of my husband, and intimacy with my husband became impossible. Whenever he tried to penetrate, my private parts would disappear. My husband continued to suffer from the bilharzia, and I had also to put a screen door on the storage room so that the snake would not come out. And I would always lock the door. Whenever my husband tried to be affectionate, a lot of scary sounds would come from the storage room. I am the only one who would hear them, so they say. It became very uncomfortable for me to allow visitors to come to my house. My husband became very sick up until I woke up one morning to a lifeless body sleeping on my side. I'll never forget that morning. I cried. My husband was gone, all because of a lucky charm that had turned into a very big snake. How was I going to look at my mother-in-law? Like I said, we never had any problems with my husband. At a personal note, it was all about me trying to help him financially. My husband was laid to rest. Up to today, I cannot forgive myself. The following week, after people had left, I woke up to a hissing sound. As I stretched my hand, I immediately felt a cold sensation. I panicked, only to realize that Mafaniko was right next to me. What did I do to myself? What did I get myself into? But I'd locked the screen door. How did Mafaniko get out? Yes, I have everything that I need. I drive high-range cars, but I lost the love of my life. I lost my soulmate, and I'll never forgive myself for that. I've tried going to churches. I've tried getting rid of this charm, but it is impossible. My daughter is deteriorating. I don't sleep at night because Mafaniko will be right next to me. I fear when the sun is setting because I have no rest. Please do not admire people that you do not know where their monies come from. Do not admire people around you because you don't know their story. Please learn to work hard, and the short route is usually the wrong route. Take the long route, struggle. I know that it's worth it. I do not advise anyone to take the route that I took. And if you know anyone who is going to help me, I mean anyone who is seriously going to help me, somebody who's true, who's faithful, who prays to the Lord, please leave a comment in the comment section.